Hey, good afternoon. It is June, good Lord, I never get the date right. June the 29th, 2021. And let's see, I posted the other day what we were at about, 261 with Lucy or something like that. Now it's a few days later. I'm here with Mama Abby. Hey, I'm going to tag a few people. Y'all know the drill here. I'm doing this on my regular timeline. I see a few people popped on. If you'd go ahead and share it. And I am going to tag, let's see. There's a special little way to do it these days, getting my lighting right. We're going to tell you what's happening. Oh yeah, Terry Weaver, representative. Brian Terry, representative. Lisa, attorney. AJ McCall. We like to banter a lot. Michael. Wendy, of course. Get these nice people tagged in. Patty in Arkansas. Dave in Texas. Kim in Tennessee. Alan, he's a state senator in Arkansas. Paige in Georgia. Abby, we're going to tag you too, so it shows up on your timeline. Brittany in Arkansas. Jenny, I don't even know where you are, Jenny. Isabel in Indiana. Rosie. Kimberly, I hope Kimberly Lowe is watching. Laura, she's in Missouri. Okay, Shirley. Jennifer, one of the most wonderful people in the world. Eric does his own show, so Eric, we might want to be on your show. Bakura, she's a big advocate.
I knew Eric's stuff before ever getting involved with TCS because of my stuff with my divorce.
Wow.
I followed him for a long time.
Oh, wow. Okay, so, all right. A lot of people in the middle of your day here. I know you're all working, but that's just too bad. It'll show up on your timeline, and then even if you can't watch it, you can watch later. A couple more people. Tim, Caldwell, Jenny, Lorraine, attorney, Terry LaPointe, Wayne, Johnny. Okay, a few of you. Kathy, Charlotte's in Memphis. I want to thank everybody for just, over the years, just growing and growing. I hope you can hear us okay. I do have a little microphone thing. I didn't bring it with me today. Whitney. Okay, that's all I'm going to tag for now. All right, so like I said, we are here. I'm going to show you the sign on this building. Hang on here. It'll be backwards. Can you see it? No, you can't even see it. No. Hang on. All right, there, you can just barely see it with the sun shining on it. It says Juvenile Justice Center. All right, and I apologize for the noise in the background, but we are right in the middle of downtown Nashville, Tennessee. So a lot of you have seen the Lucy kidnapping video from October the 6th, right? The 6th?
Yeah.
And of last year, 2020, in the middle of the pandemic. I'm going to turn a light on here, see if it'll lighten us up a little bit. Oh, nope, stay time, I'm going to do it. So still don't have a hearing. We still don't have a trial. They removed her in the middle of the night, put this 4-week little baby Lucy in this horrible car seat while she was screaming. I've had many people, 200,000 people have watched that. I'm going to repost it in the comments here after we sign off. So if you've not seen it, you can see it. And they still basically have her in captivity. She is a captive of the system. Her rights are being restricted. She is a fine, healthy baby. Mom has done everything that they asked her to do. She passed all the drug screens. She's done all the classes. She's offered to sign.
I have to go take one today when we leave here. I'll go take another one.
And she signed every release to every person for everything to know about her. Are you packing for a gunfight or a knife fight today? Well, Caldwell, so permitless carry goes into effect in a couple more days here. So I know the gun sales are going to skyrocket. So I'm looking forward to that here in Tennessee. Everybody's going to have a gun, which actually I think is probably a good idea because all the bad guys have them already anyway. So, anyway, this is life in the juvenile court system. And Abby is now representing herself. Her attorney withdrew. She brought to the court's attention that when you have a DNN petition, you're supposed to have an adjudication within 90 days, which has not happened, which never happens. And they always use the same excuse. The attorney's schedule, so we're just going to do the best we can. And here's the problem that I run into when I try to get laws and stuff changed. These legislators will go, well, there's already a law that says they're going to adjudicate within 90 days. And I say, yeah, it's bullshit because nobody does it, okay? So they don't get it. They don't get that disconnect. We have an agency that has an internal conflict of interest. I say this over and over and over. The Department of Children's Services is nothing about services. It's all about taking children. All of the financial incentive goes to removing children and putting them in foster care. Now, in our case, we do have Lucy with a relative, but I'm going to tell you, if you watch my October 6th live video, standing right there was a relative, right? And Lucy, and Abby had told them, yes, we have relatives who will help take care of the child. She does not need to go into foster care. And they took a 4-week-old nursing Lucy, perfectly healthy baby, and put her in the home of strangers. And we know from some email mishaps at that DCS did that Lucy was in the car for 2 hours?
An hour and a half.
An hour and a half or so, screaming her head out. We begged them to allow to bring breast milk, to get a pump. We
take the right car seat, to let us do anything that would make it more safe. She was not only in the car an hour and a half, but in the wrong car seat.
In the wrong car seat, without food. Told them that, we'll bring the milk wherever. You just tell us. And they said yes. And then, of course, they didn't do it. In the middle of the night, we're like, we'll find a breast pump, somewhere. We'll just find one.
We had a good friend who brought one over.
Yeah, and they found one, and they still wouldn't do it. And then you weren't allowed to breastfeed until when?
For a month. They told me I couldn't breastfeed her for a month. I pumped for a month. It was based on the allegations, although they had no dirty drug screens on me. Had I been doing drugs, I wouldn't have been nursing a baby.
Right.
It's just I wouldn't today. And they did let me nurse her. They did finally. I don't think they liked it, but I have been able to nurse her. Well, we fought for it.
Yeah, only because you told them over and over and over, can I nurse my baby? Can I nurse my baby? Can I nurse my baby? And even on that day, which was the November CFTM, even then it was like such a hard decision for them. They were like, yeah, so they have really dug their heels in.
One of the problems that after they placed the baby with mom, they said that one of their concerns with my mom, Lucy's grandma, was that she was very concerned about Lucy getting breast milk. They saw that as a red flag of some sorts.
Right. And they were going to try to use that as a reason not to allow Lucy to be with her grandmother during this period, which we all know why. So, and she's like crystal clean, like she has a doctorate degree, and she's worked for the assisted the public defender's office.
She did mediations in juvenile court when they first became a thing.
Right. It's like, okay, so we really just can't find anything but this. So the only this they could find was that, she may allow Abby to give breast milk to the baby.
But she didn't, because she also doesn't violate court orders. She does what she, we have followed all the rules, even if they don't make sense.
Exactly. They have. And to the detriment of the child now.
And the other kids involved, my older kids, to everybody. And definitely to the detriment of the custodian.
We have a pediatrician who says the baby's fine, the baby's healthy, mom's doing a good job, mom's always there, we do have the child with a relative when mom can be with her, and then they restricted you to daytime for another until when? When was? But they wouldn't let you spend the night.
I did only days for the first 6 months, and now we've been there for about 3 months.
Right.
Maybe, maybe 5 months and then 4 months.
So even after they allowed her to breastfeed, they would not let her spend the night, which, we all know with a baby's going to get hungry 2 or 3 times during the night, so she still had to pump. And the relative caregiver, bless her heart, she's a grandma, she'll do anything for her baby, but you know what, I've had grandbabies at my house when they're 2 months old, and it's hard on grandma.
Yes, she's done wonderful, but it's not fair. It was not her retirement plan.
Right, it's not. And
really done a lot for us.
And I know, no matter how much you love them, that 2 o'clock wake up call is a little hard on us. So, and then, but they did this really weird thing, which is like totally bizarre, and they still won't explain it to me. So they took her on October the 8th, and you know what? We may have to move. Let's move over here. We're going to move over here. Hey, will you guys watch this? We're going to get a little sun on our face because we're in the shadows, which keeps the sun out of our eyes, but it's too shadowy. Let's see if we can even... Oh, we can't even see that. Can you all see us? No, we can't see ourselves. All right, let's try over here. Hold on, you guys. Hang on. It's midday. It's bright. Bright. This is a little bit better. It's a little bit better. Okay, so where was I?
So they did something weird. I don't know where you were going with
okay,
it, but
yeah.
they've done lots of weird
Oh,
things.
yeah, no, this weird thing. The first weird thing that was a jaw dropper for me. So, oh gosh, I was representing the dad in another court where they had hijacked another child. And so on October 8th, Abby had to go to court because they had stuck Lucy in a foster home. She did have an attorney, and was your mom there that day?
Yeah, Mom was there, and I had an attorney already because of my divorce, so
Right.
that was where that happened.
Right. Otherwise, she would not have had an attorney. And so when they handed me the order, when I asked them what happened, they're like, well, they put Lucy in a trial home visit with the grandmother. And I'm like, what? Like, what? So if you all know anything about the law in Tennessee, a trial home visit is under 37-1-130. And what a trial home visit is it says very clearly when a child is ready to return home, right? That is not Lucy's home. And I said, this child was not in foster care. And DCS is like, oh, yeah, she was in foster care. So, but you put her in a trial home visit with somebody who's not a parent. So they just created this very bizarre thing to kind of get themselves out of a hole. And a trial home visit is 90 days. So then we go through the 90 days. So that ended up being like, and then I get involved, right? That's when I kind of start getting involved in the case. And I'm like, okay, well, if it's a trial home visit, it expires in 90 days by statute. So finally, in January, they had to file to end the trial home visit and place temporary custody with grandma. Okay, so, all right, so we're still rocking along. We have no trial date. They have these very shady drug tests that is a whole nother discussion.
It's a huge discussion. The drug testing situation is a whole mess all of in itself, and we've been very lucky that we have caught them.
We've
caught them several times, and they weren't able to hurt us.
Yes,
But they tried.
Yep, and there's been how many caseworkers now? 4 or 5?
We have gone through, this is our 4th.
And I want to tell you, in January, the commissioner of DCS, Jennifer Nichols, spoke to the state legislature for her budget hearing, and she admitted she had, a 12-13% turnover, and she admitted that every time a caseworker leaves the case, it is delayed by 6 months. Those are her own words. I've posted it before. It's on my YouTube. You can scroll down there and look at that. And this is a travesty. This is a travesty because it just ties the whole family up. It screws the taxpayers because it's just wasted money to delay a case, and you're just continuing to keep all of those taxpayer-funded resources just tied up. So, and then 3 of the caseworkers have quit and left DCS. One of them got fired because she was caught with beer in her car when she was doing a home visit. And this most recent one basically said she's out of there. She's just not going to tolerate it anymore. She's not going to put up with it. So
She said it affected her sanity, and she was going to go work with numbers.
yeah, she was just gonna leave DCS altogether. She did. She walked out that day, right? I mean,
she put in her notice, and she cleaned her desk, and she's gone now.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah.
She wasn't a very sweet girl. I say girl because she was quite young.
She was very young, and when they insisted. Now remember, the child is in the full custody of the maternal grandmother. There are no allegations against the maternal grandmother, and DCS insisted on making a personal in-home visit at the home of the maternal grandmother way after the court has released them of all custody. And they came in, they were there 90 seconds. We videotaped the whole thing. They walked in literally for 90 seconds and turned around and walked out. Crazy. I mean, that's what we have to deal with. But of course, because there's litigation, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to have to be there because I don't trust what they're going to do.
Well, they're not allowed to talk to me. I'm not allowed to ask them any questions. All the latest caseworker who left said to me, I can't do anything for you, Abby, and without advising with legal. So the legal department for DCS is who is doing all of everything for our whole case. There's no case management, there's no social work, there's no services, there's no how can we help this family and strengthen this family, which is strange to me. I know some of you, and I know Connie for sure is like, well, yeah, duh, they don't do that stuff. But those of us who didn't have experience with the department, especially growing up with a mother who was in the helping field and watching that, that's what my degree is also in that same kind of breath. I've worked in kids ministry and done other things. The assumption is that the Department of Children's Services are there to help, and I very much have not received any bit of help. In fact, if it was something that unless they could use it against me, there was really no attention given.
Well, no, and she's done a lot of things on her own, and she did a parenting assessment with somebody who's got a 40-year history of being a professional. She's taken the drug screen, she's taken the hair follicles, and we have asked repeatedly, why can't mom have an unsupervised visit? Why can't baby Lucy go back to her home and spend the night in her home? And here's what they say. Here's what DCS Legal says. Because we don't have an adjudication. And let me tell you what that means to me, who's been in this field a long time. That means it's a number, okay? That means it's a statistic to be able to get their money. And if y'all don't see that by now, you're just not even paying attention. It is nothing but a number. You're nothing but a file folder. It is nothing but a statistic. It's nothing but a dollar. So they want their federal 4E money, their federal Title 4E money, and the only way they can get it is for removals. The Family First Act passed in 2018. Nobody wants to put their big boy pants on and implement it and do the right thing. They want to dig their heels in. Also, by the way, you'll like this little side story here. I had somebody come, a new person who's doing an investigation came in to talk to me about another case in, Warren County, I think. I've got cases from probably 40 different counties calling me, families calling me. She said, Connie, when I used to work for DCS, they used to talk about you in our trainings. I know, I'm happy. I'm so excited to meet you because they would talk about you in our trainings. So, that's the other thing. It's not just a number. It's the fact that we made a video that captured 200,000 views.
They now do car seat training for DCS employees. They made every employee at DCS, not just the new ones, but every employee at DCS had to do a mandatory car seat training with the Sheriff's Department after the video we made, which showed them using unsafe car seats.
We need to open records that. Did you find that out from somebody? Okay, well, that'll be an open records request too, because those police officers never should have let them do that. They never should have let them smush poor little Lucy in that car seat. She's crying her eyes out, and mom was like bawling her eyes out, and everybody who was watching by that time was bawling their eyes out too. So. And that's what they do, though, and I just had to go film it because it's so outrageous. It's so crazy,
I'm glad we did.
I am glad we did, too. So here we are. We're still in the battle. Lucy's a prisoner of the state. Sure, some of her freedoms are restricted, which is outrageous. And it's not a safety issue. It's an issue about money and dollars and proving that they're right, and litigation. And like today, we wanted just a motion for discovery. Oh no, we got to have a hearing on that because what does she say? It's way beyond what's normally requested. Well, you know what? Maybe attorneys are not doing their job, and maybe attorneys are not asking who the expert witnesses are, etc. So, I want to know. I want to know who DCS is going to pull out of the hat as an expert. So, anyway, thank you all for watching. I see we've had a lot check in here. I will also download this and put this on the YouTube channel. Please just share it around on your pages and with your other groups, and speak boldly. This is the time. This is the season to speak boldly. Call it out for what it is. Do not be afraid. The only way we can stop this, and also remember, taxpayer dollars. It's your money. It's your hard-earned money that is being perverted, absolutely perverted, in the name of safety, which is a joke, big joke. All right, so I love you all. Hang in there. Keep it at it. Share this, and we will